The Legacy of Gaming, Episode 80, a brand new format. Okay, so welcome to the Legacy of Gaming, and this is the first time, if you haven't noticed, the YouTubes are up. So it's been mentioned on the Sentai Review, so we have 5 channels now. You can go check those out. That is, they're all on YouTube, and they've all got their own Facebook group pages. That's the Jobber Wrestling Corner, 1. 2, What's Up Fandom Night. 3, the Sentai Review. 4, Legacy of Gaming, and 5, Pages of Fandom. Each of them have their own thing, but rather than crowd up a single Fandom Night channel, we gave them all their own space. And this one, to go along with this, I finally caught this thing up, which I mentioned in the last episode. Episode 79, I said I wanted to drop the first episode we ever did so that I could say, this is how far we've come, we are current. Now, one of the things we do here is we talk the Legacy of Gaming. We've been doing it one game at a time. And it occurred to me that I have a different way to measure our legacy of gaming. Almost every single year, these shows come out, these podcasts. And at the end of the show, at the end of the year, they do the top 10 games of the year and blah, blah, blah. And even we fell into this fucking black hole of everybody fucking does this thing. So I started thinking, what if we weren't rating the 10 games of the year? What if we actually found a legitimate way to determine whether our year in gaming was plus or bust? And I have a way to do this. It is February. This is not going to be difficult for you to do, but when I turn this off, when we go to the comments or the contact information, I will be allowing each of you on this show to craft a list of what you have bought so far this year. I'm not talking, now listen here, this is not games this year that came out this year, because our Legacy of Gaming is going to be different all the time. Gaming is a vast growing network of stuff. So just because the game came out 6 years ago doesn't mean you didn't play it until just this year. And just because you waited doesn't mean it was better or worse in one way or another. So you are going to craft a list of every game that you have spent money on, bought this year so far. We are going to discuss those games. You need to know what the price of it was and what the game was. Best estimate. And from now on, you'll add this to your list as we come in here every 2 weeks. My goal at the end of the year is to take that list and tally up the money that you spent on games that sucked ass and tally up the money that you spent on games that were worth your money and time. And I will know at this point whether your year was plus or bust. That is the new format. Who wants in on the episode? William Bush, Reploid Bill.
Shane McCree, Proto Guy.
Sorry, somebody has my microphone. Seth Sario, and unfortunately, I'm going to warn you guys ahead of time, I'm out on this because I haven't bought jack or shit this year because I've been broke. So from January up till now, no new games. Unless you count like the free games off PlayStation.
You spent no money, but if you got them this year, they're on your list.
Okay, so then technically I got
two.
But
okay,
yeah.
It's up. I'm just saying, that's whatever you have purchased this year, since January 1st, that starts your year of legacy.
Okay, well then that will start my year of legacy. Make a note to future Sario here. I got 2 free games from PlayStation Plus, and I'll mark them later.
I went and got Notepad for my phone specifically for this new idea, and already put the 2 games down that I've bought so far.
Spencer Robertson, Osiris Redfire. I'm already making my list. Notepad on my laptop.
Hey guys, I know you're about to get your podcast on, so I'll be quick. If at any time you feel like dropping your own opinion into what we're talking about, head on over to fandomnight.com, and all of the contact information for every single one of our shows, including the one you're about to watch, is there. Alright guys, I'll leave you alone. Okay, so the lists are made, and I explained all of the little fundamentals of this, and I think this is a good idea. I'm hoping this will turn this show around, because we've been doing this show for a while, and we've been reviewing like one game at a time. And sometimes it's a real habit to try to get in here and play like every Mega Man game ever made. This way, if Mega Man games come up, it's because they're fresh in our mind and we can talk about them as we've played them. So if somebody buys the Mega Man Anniversary Collection to give it a try, it'll come up in conversation. Now, each one of us will go around the room. Each one of us can drop something from our list. We'll talk about it for a little while, and that's the way this show really goes.
So we're not doing our whole list at once?
Not at once. Not until you're the only person left with a list.
Stop looking at me, Bill.
I'll go first.
All right.
And the first game I bought on my list would be Tales of Berseria.
Okay.
So that game is a $60 game.
Yeah.
And I have played it. I'm not like terribly far because because these days good games keep coming out too quickly, and I got this thing called work. I need to get rid of that to make more room for gaming.
But his list only has 3 games on it.
Which mic are you using?
The green
I'm using
one.
my green one.
I think you have an auto buffer on the mic because your spikes are low.
Is
How
that
am
better?
I doing?
Yeah, that's better.
Am I okay over here?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
Now,
really weird because I always have that green thing on my.
And you're always really low.
Oh well.
I think that'll help you a lot.
Anyway, it's the first game that I bought this year. Since I'm a big Tales fan, I had to have it.
Basically, you're like a sky pirate or some shit, aren't you?
You are a pirate, but you don't start off. It's basically you're a demon.
Okay.
And your friends. Let's break it down this way. You get talk amongst yourself while I count how many characters there are.
Okay.
You guys need to be glad you're not here. He just had to take his shoes off.
Counting on his toes and shit.
There are 6 characters that I can think of so far.
He couldn't use both hands. One was holding the microphone.
Two of the characters you get are demons.
Okay.
That's the girl that you see, Velvet. She's a demon. She has a demonic arm, and she eats other demons. That's how she gets by.
With her arm?
Yes.
That's not how digestive systems work.
She's demon. Then you meet a guy named Rokuro, and he is a war demon. His hair is long, so it covers up his right side of his face. But when you move his hair, he has a demonic side of his face. His backstory, this is my thing about his backstory, is he has a giant katana on his back, but he never pulls it out of its sheath. He just needs it around. And I think that has something to do with his demon side. If that sword's not around him, he loses himself.
Okay, so that might keep him who he is.
I'm thinking so. They haven't explained it, but when I ran into him, he fought me and didn't say a word to me. And then when his sword was mentioned, he snapped out of it, ran up to me, and was like, "Do you know where my sword is at?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's downstairs." And he's like, "Thank you." And then he took off. I was like, he changed on a switch.
So far, this story and characters are done well.
Yes. Now we'll get into there's 6 people. You have 2 demons. Malachim are like these spiritual entities. Humans use Malachims for as tools, and you get 2 of them on your team.
Right.
One of them is a little boy who looks like Velvet's brother. And I'm not going to get into the story on all that, but there's a reason why she's angry. You're not the hero. In this Tales series, you're out for revenge. You want to kill the man who saved the world. And there's a reason why you want to kill the man that saved the world.
Okay. I heard they changed the fighting system.
Yes, you use they have a soul where you build it up. When every time you do combos and attack, you build up a gauge, and you press a button on your controller, and she'll light up, and then you'll start freaking like using that demonic arm. So like you'll start whooping ass real quick.
Well, I heard. Okay, yeah, but we've seen those special things before. I heard that now you can quickly change between your characters very fast.
I believe you. I like playing with her, so I don't really try it out.
Okay,
I stick with her.
I've heard that this one, because the old ones, there used to be a bit of a problem with like how you changed characters. It was kind of monotonous, and it was a big pain in the ass. And you didn't want to end up losing the guy you were using, because trying to switch between them was a pain. But now you can give orders quickly and switch and just do what you need to do real fast.
It is different than the last Tales game I played, which is
Zestiria, I believe.
Yes, which this game is the prequel. I found that out. It's a prequel.
So what are you sitting on with this game?
So like a score so far?
Well, I'm talking. Is this so far? Was it worth your money?
Oh yeah. But you also have to look at it that I'm a Tales fan.
Okay, then you need to plus your list on this one.
So this one is a plus for myself.
Yep.
If you're not a Tales fan, you don't have to be a Tales fan to enjoy this game. If you've never played a Tales game and you're like, let me just start off with the newest one, I think it's a good one to start off with. Or the last one, because the last one and this one are part of one world.
Right. Last month it was on sale. It's not on sale this month, I don't think.
But this game is worth it if you are a fan of the Tales series. So far, it has a compelling story. Something that I haven't felt since Vesperia.
Yeah, I know.
Which was one of the best.
No, I kind of like Tales of Hearts R.
It had a good.
I thought that story kept me interested.
It did. I played that for quite a while. I just
Poor Spencer knows nothing about Tales. He's literally just sitting over here right now.
I like how he's like smiling and shaking his head like, I know, guys, it's so great.
It's so
the
good.
Best. It's the best.
But
so good.
For me, that is a plus for Tales.
Okay, we're on Spencer.
Okay. Well, since you went positive, I'm going to go negative.
Of course.
Oh, shit.
What did you get that was negative?
So I was at Walmart, and I had some money. And I have this problem. You see, way back when UFC 2009 came out, I liked that game. I was good at that game. The control system felt good. So I was like, I'm going to buy this UFC 2 here at Walmart for $40. It was on sale. And I figured something out real quick. If you don't knock a motherfucker out, you lose.
What?
If these matches go to decision, you have lost.
What? All the time?
I probably played. I don't even own this game anymore. I already got rid of it.
Okay.
I played probably 30 fights. Of that, 10 of them probably went to decision. I won 1.
Damn.
And I was like thugging a motherfucker. Like, my face is all clean, I'm all good, and this dude's like bloody and beaten, and then they raise his hand at the end, and I'm like, what fight were you watching? Somebody get Dana White down here. I'm pissed. The other thing that pissed me off, and this will interest you, so because I bought the last game, EA Sports UFC,
Yeah.
and it unlocked Bruce Lee for free for me.
Yes.
I was like, sweet. And then Bruce Lee got knocked out in the first round by Conor McGregor because the UFC is sucking his dick. First round, I got knocked out by Conor McGregor with a punch to the head.
Fucking what?
Yeah. So I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to be
Does
short.
this dude punch like a fucking semi-trailer? Like, what the...
Dude, look, I like the moveset they gave Bruce.
Okay.
Because he's got, like, the back fist and the fucking, like, he has a kick where he kicks you in the leg with his back leg, where he's like, what-da? And he does the sounds, and it's great.
Yeah.
Like, it's what-da, 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 every time he fucking throws a punch or a kick. And he's got, like, the spinny with sweep kick and all kinds of shit. It's cool. But apparently Conor McGregor's like the bee's knees when it comes to cage fighting.
I have trouble believing.
But if you go... I'm going to tell you right now, faithful listener, if you go to Walmart or any other game store and you're like, I think I might buy that game, don't. I don't care if it's an $8 buy out of the fucking bargain bin. Buy some potato chips instead because you'll get more enjoyment from your potato chips.
Damn.
Terrible game. Like, I have to keep comparing it to the game that I liked. UFC 2009 had its problems because it was the first one they did. This game could take a lot of cues from its predecessor and stop. EA just needs to not make sports games. Damn.
As far as I could tell, they're one of the only ones making sports games
because,
now.
they own the rights to NFL games. They don't own... Do they not make 2K anymore?
2K games.
That's NBA Live and 2K. Right, so they don't own exclusivity to the NBA.
Okay, so more than just because they bought the NFL contract. So
right. I don't
the
think,
only football game there is
MLB.
EA.
The only company that's making Major League Baseball games is whoever makes MLB The Show.
Who makes it?
It's not EA. I think it's. Yeah, it's not EA.
So EA doesn't have any rights to baseball.
But yeah, so this is going to be a bust for me because when I buy a game and within a week I return it,
oh man,
your game is not good.
No joke.
Okay, Bill, your turn.
All right, I'm looking at. I bought the Fate Extella series. It's the newest Fate Stay Night game. I'm looking for it. I believe it's called the Umbral Star. Oh fuck! It's like right next to me. I apologize. Yeah, Fate Extella the Umbral Star. I bought this. I bought it from. It's that company I've been paying attention to. That Marvelous, that's putting out all the anime games. And once again, I got a special box set. It has cloth picture. It had cards. It had like an art book thing. It had the game, and it had a real cool case. And I got all this, and it's cross play, so you could play it on your Vita, go to work, come back, immediately transfer your save back to your PlayStation. It plays a lot like I guess I'll reference it to Dynasty Warriors, but it's quick, and it fights back against you. Like, it's got these things that appear in zones called plants that constantly send aggressors to the other zones, so you can't stop moving. Like, when you play like Dynasty Warriors fucking Pirates, One Piece game, there comes a time when you're strong enough where you could just take that field, go to the next field, take that field, go to the next field. You're not worried about anything. And then, like, a random guy will show up on the field and you have to go kill him. So, like, there's that, but this game isn't like that. This game will fight you tooth and nail for what you get, and some of the levels are very, very difficult. Like, if you don't lock down your position real fast, you're dead, and there's nothing you can do to stop it.
Also, don't play a level 8 mission with a level 2 character.
Yes. Today, a couple the guys were over, and a couple of guys did try the game out. So far, I've loved this so far. I think that it's been very, very good, and I'm looking forward to seeing how far I can get in it. I will say, if there's anything that drags the game down, it's that it's got a lot of these waifu features in it, where, like, as you play through the game, it wants you to, like, bond with the character and get to know them, and then like you have like the weird scenes where it's like you and our Arteria, you decided to fucking take a bath together or something like that, and then there's like, so you're sitting in the tub, and it's not as great as you might be thinking, where you're thinking maybe you'll see something. It's like there's the water, and it like goes to here on the top of her, and then the rest of it you can't see, so you're still only seeing her face.
You know what that's called? It's called a cock tease.
So, and so then like the character's just kind of sitting in the tub, and it goes through this very long storyline, and it's a waifu thing. You're supposed to be, it's almost like a dating sim built into the game, where like she'll say something and you can encourage her, or kind of decide what you guys want to do, and maybe go out to dinner with them.
Now I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you need to be a fan of the Fate Stay Night series to appreciate the game, or can you not know shit?
You don't need to know anything. In my opinion, you don't need to know anything, because really it is kind of a Dynasty Warriors game. And it might even get you to a point where, as you're playing, you might be interested to go check out Fate Stay Night, kind of like how it worked with like a lot of people that started playing Dynasty Warriors Gundam started being like, well, okay, so these are like all these different shows. Which one should I watch? And then you'll be like, well, what character do you like? Because his show might be good or it might suck a dick. And One Piece, as well, as this guy figured out.
I figured it out with both of them. I didn't know shit about Gundam until I played it with Bill, and I was like, what's this new Gundam all about? Because this thing's fucking beastie. And Bill's like,
watch Char's counterattack and you'll know everything about it.
Watch this. And I'm like, okie dokie.
Yep. So, yeah, I'd say it's 100%. So far, I'm happy with where I've went with that. Where are you at?
All right.
You want me to go next, since my list is twice as long as both of yours?
Sure, why not?
Just rock back and forth.
Sure, go ahead.
I'll go with another stinker.
Oh, great.
So,
so far, this guy's got a bust
Christmas,
year.
For Christmas, my wife decided that it was okay for me to replace my Nintendo 2DS and buy a new 3DS XL. That was last year, so I won't go over the price. I paid too much because I couldn't find one anywhere around here. I had to order it off the internet. My wallet got raped.
Yeah.
So we were looking for games that we could play together, and someone was like, "You guys should play that Animal Crossing New Leaf game together."
Oh fuck! Shane's shaking his head over there.
And I'm like, "Okay, all right." So I'm like, I put the game in, and it's nighttime.
Oh, I bought that for Michelle. Now that I think about it, yeah, we were at Mega Replay, and I think she bought that 3DS.
Yeah. So we start the game. Or I do. She doesn't yet. And it's nighttime. And I get told by every single person in the game, wait till morning, you can do this. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm looking at the clock. And this fucking game works in real time.
Oh, no.
So I get this fucking tent when I move into this town, and they're like...
Just to put this into perspective, we work third shift.
Yeah. So everything is closed at nighttime. Just throwing that out there. And like Animal Crossing, people get off work at 4 o'clock, so if I woke up at 3, I'd have an hour to play this game and be productive.
Yeah, and then you got to get your shit together for the day and whatnot.
They're like, pick a place for your house. I'm like, okay, cool. So I pick it, and they put up a tent. And I'm like, all right. And they're like, come back in 3 days and your house will be finished. And I said, I'm not going to do that. And I shut that fucking game off. I also no longer own that game anymore.
Neither does Michelle.
To be fair, I only paid $20 for this game.
Okay.
That $20 would have been better spent on
anything.
Just about, as long as I didn't buy Power Rangers Power Battle for my PS4.
Oh, you had to bring that one up.
Sure
yeah, we'll get there.
So Shane, your turn.
All right. The next game that I have purchased this year was Resident Evil 7.
Okay, so if we're going to talk about this, can I give my review for this too?
Yeah, you guys both get to jump in, because both of you have this on your list, don't you?
Yes.
Yes.
Have you beat the game yet?
Yes.
I have not. So try to avoid spoilers.
Got it.
Okay. I just for reference, I just now got to the weird bitch with the bugs.
Oh, wow.
But so far, I will say this. I'll keep it short since Shane's beat the game. I'll let him do most of the talking. Even at the $60 price point I paid to buy the game new, and I'm not that far into it, I actually really like the way this game was done. The demo had you playing as the film crew. You were telling me about that when
that was neat.
That's actually in the game.
It's one of the tapes you find.
Yeah,
and from what I understand, there's found footage everywhere in the game.
Yep. So far, with the exception of one boss fight that had me so mad I wanted to break my controller in half.
Is that when the guy drives the car?
No.
Oh,
I know.
Because I enjoyed watching that.
Chainsaw boss fight.
Oh.
That's an interesting fight.
You want to know how that fight went for me, Shane? He hit me, clipped me through a table, and he couldn't hit me. So I was standing on the other side of the table, shooting him in the face, and he's like, ring, ring. I downed him, shot him to where he changed form or whatever, and then he broke the table, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
That was the last time I fought him 7 times before I beat him.
Twice.
That guy fucked on my shithole. Your turn.
Alright, now that I know where you're at in the game, I won't spoil anything. But the first-person perspective. First time a Resident Evil game is going to do this. When you talk about Resident Evil, you wonder, is this game going to be scary? Is it going to be creepy? And while the other games are not, because I believe that when you're in a third-person perspective, it's not creepy because you can see so much more around you.
Resident Evil Nemesis would beg to differ with that argument, but go ahead.
When you're in first person, the level of creepiness does go up because I don't know what's behind me until I turn around.
Dude,
okay, well, here's my issue. And I realize that so far this game is getting rave review, but did anybody even bother to try Outlast? Or Whistleblower?
No, I've never played those. I know you
Or
did.
Emily wants to play?
No.
Because all of these games are basically Final Fantasy VII before rather, all of these are Resident Evil 7 before Resident Evil 7 was Resident Evil 7.
I think it's because it's because it's the name Resident Evil.
Right.
It's bigger than the rest of those games.
that's exactly why I bought it and not the other ones.
Because you think about Outlast, you're like, I don't know what the fuck that is.
Outlast is amazing.
Or you're like, what Emily can play or must play, whatever you just said it's called.
Emily wants to play.
Shane wants to play with
You
Emily.
deliver a pizza to a house.
I watched one of the YouTubers that I watch. She was playing
Reploid
it.
Bill?
No, but I've played Outlast. I had 2 videos on my channel.
So, the beginning of the game. The beginning of the game.
Yeah. Fucking
is the only
Greg.
part that's creepy. After that, the creepy factor is gone. Like, I don't care. It's gone.
Can I interrupt for just a
Yeah,
second?
go ahead.
All right. So, I will agree with you on one point.
Don't me tell you something.
When you're walking through the house and your girlfriend's chasing you, and
Okay.
you look in a room, she ain't there. You turn around, you go to walk forward, and she jumps out of that fucking room.
I'm missing your spikes.
You look in that room, she's not there. You turn to walk away, and she jumps out of that room and starts hacking you with a meat cleaver. I jumped. I dropped the fucking controller. I'm not even going to lie to you.
Okay, when you find your wife, and you guys are walking around, trying to get out, and then all of a sudden you hear the fucking wall break, and she's gone. So you go up the stairs, and because you're in the basement, you go upstairs, and you're walking down this hallway, and and there's a door at the very end that you can't open. So then you open the bathroom door. Oh, what do we got in here? So you get all your stuff, and then you go back out, and you're like, what the fuck? I can't proceed, so I'll just go back towards the basement. So you go down the stairs. Creepiest part of the game is when you're starting walking down the stairs, and it starts getting darker. And then all of a sudden, it's that scene, and where she's laying on the stairs, and she's crawling up it. That is the creepiest fucking part. and then because you can't do shit. Like I don't.
You're not armed with anything.
Yeah, you are not armed. You can't do a fucking thing. So she comes up, and then all of a sudden she gets in your face, and she's changed. Something's happened to her, and then she grabs your guy and throws you like she's Superman, and you're just an inconvenience to her.
Yeah, you go flying up the stairs into the wall on the opposite side of the hallway, and she's like,
Superman pushes you.
See, that's exactly where I'm coming from. I think that if you end up liking this game even the littlest bit, what I'm hearing is the same stuff I did on Outlast. On Outlast, you are a video journalist who hears rumors about the mistreatment of people in this insane asylum, and you're dumb enough to go there.
By the way, that guy is fucking dumb.
And that guy's dumb.
The second room you go into, you have enough evidence and you can leave. Oh, this library's got fucking decapitated heads and people hanging from spikes. I should investigate farther.
Yeah, I should investigate farther.
Later.
And he goes further in, and then that big fat guy comes up behind you, and you're trying to move in between this bookcase.
You become a mistreated prisoner by that big fat guy.
Dude, that game is crazy, and you can't fight back. You have a camera.
Well,
and you also need to hold on to that camera for dear life, because you can't see shit.
Well, Resident Evil's a lot different. Eventually you will get a weapon.
Right, and then you get to fight back
yes.
and everything. But in Outlast, when I lost my limbs, they didn't come back.
You mean you couldn't pour a potion on them to...
Dude, there's a scene that is literally hard to take, where there's a certain path you could take where you actually get taken by one of the doctors, and he will cut your fingers off.
Don't play the second one.
Leaving you with a camera.
Don't.
I know.
You know what they
Whistleblower?
do. Well, the second game.
Whistleblower.
Yeah, they
Unless you're talking about the actual second game coming up.
The actual second Outlast 2 is, from what I heard, you do lose appendages, just not the one that you want to lose.
Oh, my.
If you can't handle fingers...
Dude, that's a difficult scene, I'm telling you, because when you get there, you've dealt with all this stuff up to that point, and they put you in this chair. They have you strapped into this chair, and you're in a wheelchair. This guy actually pushes you around the asylum talking to you. And he takes you to this one part where he even leaves you at the door where it's raining, and if you could just get off the chair, you're gone. And it allows you to kind of rock back and forth trying to get out of this chair. And he goes off to do something, then he comes back and drags the chair into the elevator, pulls the lever, and you're going down further into this hellhole. And then when you get down there, he takes you in this back room, and he's like, we've got to figure these things out. And he goes over and he starts working on getting his tools ready and everything, and you're trying to get out of this chair. And he walks over and he takes your camera from you, and he puts that over there, like, oh, you don't need that thing anymore. And then he just takes these, scissor things, and he's like, pop, 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 and starts popping your fingers off. And then something happens, and he's like, God damn it. And he puts the things down, and he's like, I'm fucking busy in here. And he leaves the room, and you're so overwhelmed with pain that you can finally get your hand from this strap, and then you can get off the chair. And then the first thing you do is you got to go for your camera. You got your hand, and you're fucking bleeding, and your fingers are missing, and you throw up in the sink a couple times, but then there's no way, you can't patch yourself up, and you can't relax, because that dude is coming back. So you got to grab your camera so you can see, and you got to proceed from gurney to gurney, table to table, hiding spot to hiding spot, while this dude is looking for you for the rest of the game. And you got to get out. And Resident Evil 7, from what I've seen, and I've seen about 50% of the game, it starts off in the same kind of atmosphere that what makes it scary is you cannot defend yourself. Even when you get the gun at the start and the bitch is coming at you with that chainsaw, it's very little comfort. You're like pop, 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 and she's not going down.
Headshots. Yeah, I know.
But then later on, that problem goes away. In fact, I've read about people already that have got the game down to an hour and a half science. Mm-hmm. They just fucking do, and they just jog through the game.
There's people that are beating the game with just the knife.
Like
Fuck those people.
That's what I mean. That's an easy game once you figure out how
Well,
it works.
This comes down to the negative I have of the game. While the game is fun and I enjoyed myself,
You also beat it in a single night.
let's talk about that.
And if I'm not mistaken, the way Nick talks, and Nick is not here, and he's never going to listen to this episode because that's the way he is. He's fine to be on the show, but I could say whatever I want right here. Like just for a factor, Nick is one of the co-hosts on a couple of the other shows, so I'm going to go ahead and say Nick sucks a penis. Now I've said that. Now let's see if he actually hits me back and says something in one of the other episodes. Now,
I won't quote you for that on the Facebook page.
if you get into that though, not Nick sucking penis, but if you get into
I'm definitely not into that.
If you get into what happened that night, Nick tells me that you guys beat it, went to Game Plus, and he beat it again, and now he's borrowing it from you, and he's already beat it again, and I think he's gone through the new Game Plus once already, and now he's about to make. So he's already beat it 5 times.
Yeah.
2 of those times was the very first night you guys got the game.
Yes, we that is the problem. That's the negative. For $60, this game is short. Now, I'm not going to claim that I know how long the other Resident Evils are because I've only beaten 4, 5, and not all of 6. I still have Leon's campaign to beat. But other than that, I beat the other 2 campaigns. So I've beaten almost all of 6. I've beaten 5. I've beaten 4. I've beaten 1. Resident Evil 1, when it came out on the PS4, I beat it. That one, this game seems short to me. Like, the first playthrough you're going to go through is going to be your longest playthrough because you don't know what's going on. You know, you're taking your time. But then after that, it's done. There's a trophy for beating the game under 4 hours, which Nick did. Beat it in 3.5.
The first time?
No, not the first time. The first time it took us 9 hours to beat.
Okay.
Second time, there is a trophy to beat it under 4 hours, and then I gave the controller to Nick. I'm like, do it. And he's like, put it on easy mode, flew through the game.
Put it on easy mode.
Okay.
Yeah, because we beat it on normal the first time. And then we unlocked Madhouse mode, which we're scared to try.
Not from what I understand. I think he's already doing it.
If he's doing Madhouse mode?
He said that's the reason he borrowed it from you. Was he the first night
There's
he unlocked
a reason.
Madhouse
Each
mode?
time you beat the game on a difficulty, or if you beat it under a certain time, you unlock stuff. Beating it on Madhouse mode gives you unlimited ammo.
Okay.
Why would you play the game after that? Though?
Look-
You just beat it on the hardest difficulty.
No,
It is
no,
what it
because
is.
I heard they're adding a new difficulty called Ethan Must Die. You hit once, you're dead.
Okay.
Don't
well,
get hit.
I can't complain.
So,
I guess
I'm not going to say that this game. I'm going to say that this game is worth playing it if you're a Resident Evil fan.
I feel like this should have been a $40 game, or maybe
It
if
is
nothing
not.
else, you should have waited.
This game
Until
is
it-
not worth $60.
I'm going to say, and I'm not going to mark your list for you or whatever. But
don't know
for
how-
me, I feel like a game like this, if you'd have just waited 1 month. And that seems to be about the going rate with these things. I wouldn't be surprised if I could go to the store in a month and buy it for
Well,
like $25.
I will say that I think that this game is worth it for the experience, not worth it for the price. So I'm going to put a both. I'm going to put a negative and a minus
Okay.
because the positive outweighs the negative, but not by much, because that's a $60 price for a short game. Now, I know there are games out there that are shorter.
I pay $60 for fighting games with no story.
But
Well, but then you probably get more than. Look, here's the
If
thing.
people will play with me, I get more than 9 hours out of
I
them.
was gonna
problem
say
is
some
those
people.
Resident Evil has no multiplayer aspect whatsoever.
Well, no, I was going to say some people once they beat a game like that, like Resident Evil, they'll beat it once on whatever difficulty and they're done with it. Like some people don't do that second playthrough. I mean, you could, but some people don't care. Once the game is done, they're done with it.
But it's a good game. If you, I would recommend it. I would just tell you to wait till it goes down in price.
Where are you putting it?
I'm going to agree with Shane. I'll go even on it because I didn't realize the game was that short until he said that.
Okay.
So
Yeah, you could beat it in a single sit down.
I could
Which we
probably
did.
go home tonight if I wanted to and beat it.
If you
but-
went home
Right.
tonight, you could beat it tonight. I promise you. We did it from the start of the game to the end of the game. 9 hours of just sitting there playing 7.
Okay, well, I believe that was you that added that one,
Yes.
so we're on you again.
Well, I will go now with the newest game on my list.
Okay.
Tuesday,
Okay.
I got For Honor.
Oh, okay.
You thought the game was called Tuesday?
No.
I was like, what is that fucking game?
I pre-ordered For Honor and had it direct download to my PS4.
Okay.
I've been playing this game pretty much every night. I haven't beat the story yet. I've been playing multiplayer with my cousin. I do have to say there are huge pluses for this game. The entire story mode is co-op. There are like 5 different multiplayer game modes. There are 12 playable characters so far.
3 factions.
You got the samurai, the knights, and the Vikings. Each faction has
3.
4 characters. Didn't have the 4th character in beta.
Oh.
I love the game so far. It really requires you to think with the stance fighting and stuff. You really have to pay attention. My cousin actually, when he started the game, he put the story mode on realistic difficulty. So you know how you probably had it in the demo where it has the markers to show you which stance they're doing. He doesn't get that in realistic difficulty. You have to go based off of what you see as far as where their weapon's at. So he's a little bit better at the game than I am from playing that way, but... So, that being said, I paid $60 for this game.
Okay.
I'm going to say it was a plus.
I've heard good things about it. I played it. I had problems with the blocking
Yeah,
because it's the right stick. You move the stick up, left, or right, depending on what the little arrow tells you the enemy is going to attack, which way.
because
And I had a hell of a time.
it's different stances for combat. You have up guard, left guard, and right guard. You do different attacks from each of these stances. Some characters have additional stances. Did you know that? Yeah. The biggest problem I have with this game is one character in particular. There's a spear chick that fights for the samurai, and she poisons you on hit, and there is nothing you can do about the poison once it hits you. So if you have little to no health left and she hits you with that, she just turns around and walks away, and you die. It is the I call it the champion of cheese class, and you see it a lot because my cousin and I play Brawl, which is 2v2. You see it on pretty much every team. One person's something, and the other person is this poison spear bitch.
Oh, isn't that strange? Playing the beta, I was trying to figure out which character I liked. Really liked the spear person.
Yeah, Shane's a big fan of the queen of cheese.
I liked. Well, I didn't even know that it poisoned you. I wasn't paying attention to that. What I was paying attention to is the fact that I have range. So I can be like, poke, poke, stay back, bitch, poke.
So in a game all about melee combat, Shane's the guy that's trying to stay the fuck away from you.
But, well, don't give me a spear, which is 6 feet fucking long.
$60 For Honor, brand new. I'd say it's worth it. I give it a plus.
All right, Bill, what do you got? And all right, back to me.
Oh,
Back to me?
It's that time.
it's that time.
Oh, I'm excited.
Power Rangers.
Yay.
I've played this. Can I talk about this with you?
Oh, yes,
I
you
played it.
certainly
May I
can.
join you?
Oh, you certainly can. Everybody can get a piece of the Power Rangers.
Bust. I'm done.
Bust as fuck.
Dude, this game is disappointing. That new Power Rangers game that came out, Power Rangers Mega Battle or whatever, bought that thing, was very excited, very looking forward to it. One problem right off the bat, and there are 2 compounding problems. Because the way you have to buy this game, you automatically buy the bundle. The bundle comes with the White Ranger. This means that there are 6 characters, of which you can only use 5,
That's not-
which you can only use 4.
Bill, hang on. If you bought that bundle, you also could pick Rocky or Aisha or the other
Yeah, there's
Adam.
skins for that too.
You could be them because you bought that bundle. Your
So,
favorite Red Ranger.
Nobody picked
Here's a huge
Rocky.
problem with the game. Right off the bat, there's a problem because they're like, hey, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, 6 characters, of which you can only use 5 because if you pick Green Tommy, you can't be White Tommy. If you pick White Tommy, you can't be Green Tommy. However, at the same time, you can only be 4 of those characters because you can only play 4 players. And a game that is designed like Castle Crashers that makes more sense online is only couch co-op. If you don't have a controllers with friends sitting on your couch, you can only be 1 person. There's no computer players with you. There's no online on a game that was released online only. The only way you can get it is from online. The only way you can play it is by your own goddamn self on your own couch.
Makes a lot of sense.
Then, now let's get into some gameplay.
Oh, let's
some
get it.
fun, exhilarating punch, kick.
Let's get into that boring ass shit.
It is worse than playing an original. Like, you could play Double Dragon, you could play Final Fight, Streets of Rage, Turtles. You could play Turtles 2, 3, 4, Hyperstone Heist, My Alarm. You could play all these different games.
It's time to go to work, Bill.
And I'm telling you, man, they really shit on this game. Like, it's fucking boring. It takes forever to level up. You gotta collect these little orbs. And you can literally beat the entire first 3 stages all the way into the Megazord fight, which we're gonna talk about that too. You could do this all the way into the Megazord fight and not level up. Then, the whole time you're playing, there's little alphas everywhere being like, hey, did you level up? Because you could spend those points. And I'm like, no, I haven't leveled up. I've killed 1,000 fucking putties and I haven't leveled up. 1,000 putties with punch, kick, punch, kick, punch, kick. Or single sword swipe.
The best comes when you do level up and you get punch, kick, punch.
Yeah, you get like an extra punch. Or you get 3 sword chops.
Or as the Green Ranger, you get that area attack that's got no range.
He spins in a circle with a dagger
Like a ballerina.
that doesn't attack very far.
Because it's a dagger.
So, like, the characters don't have that great of level ups in general. Like, sure, they level up and they get skills, but the skills are weak. They don't help you at all. And then, let's talk. The Rangers are sad.
Yes.
Then you turn into the Ranger. The kids are sad enough. Then you turn into the Ranger. It adds a sword and a gun blast. Gun blast is very weak. Don't expect to kill shit with it. Sword swipe is disappointing. It's 1 cut. And sure, people are probably on here like, oh, that's bullshit, dude, because you can level up. And yeah, about your leveling up. Fuck that. That takes way too long by your own goddamn self sitting on your couch. And it would have been cool, like, if I could have got 4 people, but it still would have been 4 people fighting for what little experience they could get while they punch, kick, punch, kick, punch, kick. Tedious, slow, monotonous battles that are not fun. They don't feel anything like the show whatsoever. Then the Megazord happens. That is the most disappointing piece of garbage.
The way it showed up, when I played it with you the first time, I thought, like, holy shit, is this like a fighting game element? And you're like, no.
No.
And then it was quick time event time.
It's just it's like, okay, first it turns into like a strange kind of rail shooter, where like the monster's coming at you and you shoot him, and then it goes from that into a quick time Megazord event.
I think the shooter's supposed to be when the Megazord's in tank form,
Right.
and then you turn into the quick time event Megazord.
That quick time event is so disappointing. It breaks everything that the game could have been.
Is there a score lower than bust?
This game, to me, was a complete waste of my money. Thank God it was only like $15. Because Oh my god, dude, this game was disappointing at an extreme rate.
All right.
I should have deleted it, but it doesn't take up any space either because it sucks so bad that...
No.
Last game. We're coming up on our hour. Yeah, it's you.
So I have to pick one of these for my last one.
Yep.
Because I've only got one more.
Shane, you go ahead.
All right.
Finish
You've only
your
got
list?
one more. Finish.
I
it.
see. I've got two. We'll be talking about those next episode.
My last game that I bought so far this year is Nioh, which is a...
Did you enter the Matrix?
Not
Nioh.
Not that Nioh. It is the Dark Souls clone.
Okay, think Dark Souls and Ninja Gaiden had a nasty love baby.
Because that's what it is.
So the difficulty of Dark Souls, the combat system of Dark Souls, plus the difficulty of Ninja Gaiden together in one convenient little package.
So,
Is that convenient?
well,
For butt raping.
I will tell
Oh,
you
okay,
that
well,
I'm not super far in the game. I was playing it with Nick yesterday because it does have co-op.
Okay.
Two people, only one person can come into your game and help you out for the level. Well, you start the game off in the Tower of London. You play as a man named William.
Oh, great.
Bill!
Bill, you're a prisoner.
No, sometimes I feel like it. And some of these
Like
games
when
I've
he's playing
played,
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Mega Battle.
I feel like a prisoner
So
when I'm
you
forced to enjoy
escape
that
the
game.
Prison, and the first enemy is a guard. You have nothing but pants on.
Well, at least they gave you that.
Armor, yeah, you're not
Unlike
playing
that
Conan.
new Barbarian game.
You got
Conan
no wang
Exiles
hanging out.
with the dick slider.
No wang hanging out. So you punch this man to death.
Okay.
Go, Bill!
And then you can take his stuff and get a cool sword and shit.
Oh, sweet.
So then you proceed through the prison trying to escape. And at the top of the prison, you fight an executioner guy. I died my first time, beat him the second time. Then he turns into to a demon, and the demons in this game are called yokais. No relation to the Yokai Watch.
Oh,
Darn it.
I haven't seen anything about that.
No
I've seen it, but
relation-
I've yet
no
to watch it
relation
or anything.
To rip off to the Pokemon.
I
ripoff?
I don't know what happened, but somehow the demon was easier than the guy, because I beat him in one try. So then you're going to Japan because they have a rare they have an
That's what I like to do after punching guards to death. I usually go to Japan.
which takes 3 years because
Oh.
this takes place in the this is
Fuck.
Rowboat.
What the fuck did I take there?
well.
I had to go get my Mick job and save up money and work for the man or something.
The beginning
like,
the beginning of the game takes place in 1597,
okay.
and you get
So
there.
you probably weren't serving. You probably weren't working a Mick job.
So you get there.
Did I can I at least, like, what did I do? Scoop horse shit for fucking, like, that's 3 years. That's a pretty big fucking story
You also
gap.
have to understand which way they went. Where you find England, so they go down south, go around South America and up.
Don't you mean Africa?
No, they went the other way.
Oh, okay.
They went around South America, up past Hawaii to Japan, when you could have just went down around Africa and would have gotten there faster.
That's still a large portion. Like,
So there was
nothing
like
happened
5
in my
boats. There
life
were
in those
5
3
ships
years?
that
Nothing
left.
happened?
There was like 4 or 5 ships that
I have
left.
the most boring life ever. For 3 years, I just walked and rowboated all the way to Japan, and nothing happened.
well, hold on. You leave with about 4 ships, 4 or 5, and you're the only ship that makes it.
Oh boy, I would have loved to have played the game that's missing.
So you land on the shores of Japan. You land on the shores of Japan,
Yeah, you have to fight a rain cloud.
and so then you walk out, walk on the shore, and you're in a tiny village, and there's people there, and for no reason whatsoever, they just want to kill you. You didn't do nothing to them. You're a strange guy.
Fuck you, Round Eye!
So I walk up into this village and I see a guy kind of like squatting. I'm like, all right, it's a guy. So there's people. So I get up
You
close.
saw the guy squatting?
He was squatting over a corpse. I probably should have put 2 and 2 together.
Jesus Christ.
Didn't you play Resident Evil 5?
What the fuck's going on?
I walk up to him. Well, how do I know that the guy that he killed wasn't a bad guy and he was just protecting himself?
I've only met 2 people in this game so far. One I punched to death. The other was a demon. A guy squatting. I don't know if I can. And then I spent 4 years, 3 years traveling
boat.
around fucking with complete amnesia because I don't even know what happened during my trip.
So
and the
you
next
get
thing I
there-
know is some squatting guy tries to kill me.
So then you walk up into this village, and this guy looks at you, gets up, and comes at you with a sword. But let's begin. I should mention that there's 5 different weapons you can get. You can start off with a katana, dual-wield katanas. You can get a spear, an axe, or a sickle and chain.
Oh.
So you get to choose 2 of them.
Kurosama or whatever.
Kurosama. Something like that. Now, I chose katana and the Kurosama. Probably shouldn't have picked the Kurosama. That's an expert level weapon. It's hard to
Yeah.
get. So I went to axes. And I bring the pain.
So far, it sounds like everybody else is bringing pain your way.
I died a lot.
So every person you get to, you always have to ask them the question.
I asked them a lot of questions.
Are you going to attack me? Because you're crouching over a corpse, and I need to know these things.
So, the combat is, like Spencer said, Dark Souls. You have a stamina meter. Anytime you block, or you dodge, or dodge roll, or attack, it takes your stamina down. If your stamina gets too low, and it goes into the red, and you try to block, the enemy will break your block, and then you can't move for a few seconds because
You're dead.
you're trying to catch your breath, giving them a chance to fucking combo you, which actually happened to me once.
In those games, if an enemy pulls off a long combo on you,
You're dead.
you are dead.
So
Rip.
you have to manage your stamina.
I hope you enjoyed your 3-hour
There are
amnesic trip
3
from fucking England.
There are 3 stances. High stance, so when you have your weapon above your head, does the most damage, but also drains your stamina like crazy. Mid stance is what you think it is. Balanced damage, balanced stamina use. Then you have your low, your low stance, where you do the least amount of damage, but you also manage your stamina better. You can get off more attacks. You just don't do that much damage. Well, you get a guardian spirit to protect you.
You broke out of jail? Here you go.
Fucking Night Wolf wins.
Well, a wolf is one of them. His name is Kato.
Wow. Well, come on.
Hey, Japanese stereotypes.
Kato is Chinese.
Get out my country, wound I. Is the game worth the $60, Shane?
Yes. For the most part, it is. I mean, if you like the Dark Souls series,
I do.
if you like Ninja Gaiden,
Fuck birds.
if you like,
I'm gonna jump this gap.
if you like
No.
if you like guys named William,
I mean, I know one.
I'm fond of it, I guess.
if you like a difficult game, then it makes you, and you need to plan out each attack, otherwise you're dead. This game is for you. Is it worth the $60? It's much longer than Resident Evil because you're going to be dying a lot.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that adds to the time, I guess.
One dying is what increases your gameplay time.
No, I
Dying
mean the game is
increases
longer
gameplay
regardless because I'm not even. Nick is playing it and he's only on like the 3rd part.
So do you buy games for yourself or do you buy them for Nick?
I bought him for me. Nick,
I have noticed that.
Nick
What's
bought-
going on?
Nick bought the game for himself. I own this. He bought it and I bought it. I bought
Oh,
it
okay.
first, then he bought it.
Okay.
He's farther in the game than I am.
He's got your copy of Resident Evil 7, I'm just saying.
I let him borrow it. You have my copy of fucking Rise of the Tomb Raider.
And I told you to come get it, and you still haven't
It's
come
true,
to my house.
he did. He told you that.
I'm
like,
coming to get it tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Plus or bust.
It's a plus.
all right. Okay, well, that's the list so far. Of course, we will be adding each one of these episodes. We'll talk about more games, and as other people come in, we'll talk about their lists as well. And the goal of this is at the end of the year, we're going to figure out whether this was a good year or a bad year for our gaming. Don't forget to check out the Facebook page, so you can go over there and get on the Legacy of Gaming group page, give some ideas, and let us know what games you're playing and everything like that. I post a lot of cosplay and everything like that on there, too, to keep people less bored. I guess is the best way to say it. So we're out of here. Hey guys, did you like that podcast? If so, remember to check out fandomnight.com. At fandomnight.com, you can drop a line to this show, or you can check out other podcasts as well. We cover all kinds of topics, everything from comic books, wrestling, movies, TV shows, video games, animes, mangas. It's outrageous. We seem to have a podcast for just about everything, and you have access to it just by going over to fandomnight.com. So check it out, guys. We're going to get out of here.